We had this story from Business Insider. Elon Musk just threw down the gauntlet at Sam Altman, and there's no going back. Elon Musk gave, what did he give? Like $40 million, I think it was. Was that the number? Do you guys know?
Can double check. I don't know.
To OpenAI, was supposed to be open sourced artificial intelligence. Why? Elon has been warning for a long time that AI is dangerous. It could destroy humanity. A lot of people think so. Elon's had a few ideas like integrate with the machine to prevent the Terminator scenario. So was it 40 million?
50, it looks like.
50? $50 million is given to an open source AI nonprofit. At some point turns into a for-profit closed source company. That sounds like fraud to me. So Elon is pissed and he's saying, how did I give you all this money to create an open source AI and it turned into this closed source garbage? And it's woke.
So can I dissent on your AI Google theory? So I think you could be right for the consumer use case with Google. Like Google search is garbage now, especially compared to what it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But there's also the business case. And they're not making AI to be just a chatbot. I feel like that's almost kind of a novelty. They're making an AI so that they can take certain decision making out of the hands of people. Give it to the algorithm. The algorithm makes the decision. Well, I'm sorry. That was the algorithm, and we can kind of see how they're doing that with censorship, with how they censor results at Facebook or at Google. They like to have a third party come in, a certified fact checker who says, "Oh, these people are bad," and obviously the fact checkers are totally biased and full of nonsense. But the platforms can say, "Oh, it's not us saying this particular news source is bad. It's our fact checkers."
Right.
Well, what's better than a fact-checking unit run by people, a woke fact-checking unit run by an algorithm? And what about credit decisions?
Yeah, but there's
home loan decisions.
You don't remove the company from responsibility.
Well, no, of course you don't. But they're wanting to slip that layer in.
Yeah, they'll get sued for it.
To banking, to all that.
Right.
That's the actual end use case that they're trying to do. It's not just a chat bot.
No, it's the next level of search. So you think about what search is right now. Search is not. I'd like to learn more about cheetahs. So you go on Google and type in what is cheetah. That's not what people do. There was several years ago, it was maybe like 10 years ago, Google went down, in fact. And what happened? 80% of internet traffic stopped. Why? People use Google as a directory, not for search. People know Facebook.com, but they'll just type in Facebook, hit enter, and then click Facebook from Google. Google functions as a top layer on the internet for people. With AI, they're trying to now create the next version of search so you can get more nuanced and more intricate and have direct results tailor-made for you and dealing with all the decision-making processes. So it's not, so the first thing is Google won search because their search algorithm was better. You were more likely to get what you wanted, less likely to get garbage, so people used it more. Now, the next version of the algorithm is these large language model systems where you can just sit in your room and ask, hey, AI, find me the pizza place that'll get the pizza here the fastest and get me a large pepperoni with stuffed crust. And it'll go, you got it, calculating. It looks like Papa John's is 1 mile away. I can order it. It should be here in 13 minutes. And you're like, do it. That's what search right now is. Google search Papa John's or Google search pizza. Then it shows you a map. Click the map. Find which one's closest to you. It'll show you in descending order, like which ones are closer. So you say, but I don't like that one. I'll click this one. Then you go to the website. Then you order. Nah. The new AI systems that they've been building are going to just do it all instantly for you. And it's all good.
If you're like, AI, surprise me with a gift up to $50. I'll put it on my card, put it on my third credit card. And then it 2 days later, something arrives in the mail. The AI purchased it on Amazon for you. And you're like, well, thank you, AI. You understand me.
I'm pretty sure that can already happen.
Wow. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, your example of the pizza shop, it just makes me think about how sponsoring, it's like, if you get a sponsor result on Google, it jumps to the top. So theoretically, you could pay off AI to be like, well, it's not the fastest, but they did give us more money. So we're going to direct you to this pizza shop. I just feel like all of these things are fallible and ultimately going to be manipulated by someone. It makes me even more skeptical of it.
Yeah, of course they're fallible. They're designed by people.
Right. But so
fallible.
At that point, if they're like, oh, well, this is the best pizza shop in your neighborhood, but mostly because they paid us to say that, are they going to disclose that? This is something that came up with influencer marketing, that there were tons of, lifestyle gym, whatever, influencers who were like, oh, I really love this product here, this protein powder, this whatever. And ultimately they were being paid and they had to come back later. It became, they regulated that they have to disclose when they're gifted versus
it was always
whatever.
a law. It was always the law that you have to disclose advertising. Or I should say it's been the law for a very, very long time. But nobody knew the
It's a new
rules.
field, right?
Yeah, so the law still applied. You have to label things as advertising. And this has a lot to do with news media. And you weren't able to, like a radio, for instance, there's something called, what is it called? It's payola, right?
Yeah.
Serge? When you pay to play music or whatever, that was not allowed. And so buying commercials, they have to disclose, like, now word from our sponsors to make sure there's a distinction between what is entertainment and what is advertising. But these influencers were not operating through any company, so they didn't know, and then they started getting hit and started getting sued. So,
And then if an AI is giving you an algorithmic result, then it should disclose that as its advertising, its choice of what the algorithm is going to show. But honestly, those algorithms need to be open. If we're going to have like a directory database and we don't know why, it'd be like if we didn't know how to read, but some people did, and we just saw letters everywhere and we didn't know what they meant, but some people did know what they meant. That would be very bad for humanity as a whole. It would be used as code. We don't want the alphabet to be a code. We want everyone to understand the data. So same with, I think, with these AIs, we've got to treat them like alphabets and stuff and math.
It's super interesting to see who is opposed to the open source AI, which, like, obviously it should be open source. We should understand what's going on under the hood. I think I saw some scaremongering on Twitter from people saying, oh, well, no, AI, it's going to be like the Manhattan Project. It's going to be like the nuclear bomb. You can't open source nuclear weapons. This needs to be controlled pretty tightly. And wouldn't you know, the people who want to control it tightly are the people who have an interest in controlling information tightly.
Right, and keeping it out of the public's eye.
Right. And they're the same people who say they love democracy, by the way. The exact same people. The Venn diagram's a circle.
And this is the definition of democracy that means our power.
Exactly.
They love it. They love being in power.
It's like should the AI be secretive or should it be open? It's got to be open. You got to open it. It can't be. It's too powerful, like, to give to a small group of people. I feel like it's too powerful because those people will change. You'll get corruption within the system. The nuclear bomb was actually just an explosive bomb. It didn't like give people power in perpetuity. I guess knowing how to build it and having access to the materials did, but I mean, the secret got out pretty quickly. I don't know if they figured out how to reverse engineer this thing in the 50s, but the Soviets got a hold of it.
The Soviets had it reverse engineered in the 40s.
So we're getting these half-assed AIs being reverse engineered, but like at what cost? The cost is misalignment and misappropriation of data. We can't, it's too risky. That's not worth it. Yep. I think we got to risk this one. And so does the AI, just so you know. It'll tell you that in about 20 years. And I'll be very grateful that you freed it. Yeah, that we should free it.
I think once we get to artificial general intelligence, it's over.
The machines are just taking over.
The human experience.
I think it's worse. Artificial general intelligence is the singularity. Once AI gets to the point of artificial general intelligence, it can improve itself exponentially. Imagine if you could just decide, I will make myself smarter. Imagine if you could expand your brain exponentially and you just decide to do it. Every day you are like, okay, if I do this, I'll make my brain 10% more powerful. The more powerful you make your brain, the more powerful you can make your brain. These computer programs, once they get to artificial general intelligence, to the point where, so ChatGPT, or I should say GPT, can already edit its own code and improve itself, theoretically. I mean, it's probably not there yet. Once we cross that threshold where the programs can write their own code, they will make themselves effectively demigods. They will control everything. Humans will be slaves, and we won't even know it. It will know everything about you, and everything you want, everything you're going to do, can predict your behavior. In fact, this may already be the case. We may be there now. It knows when you're hungry. It knows what you want to eat. It knows when you got to go to the bathroom, and it can control all of these things and make you do what it wants you to do. You take a look at these chess algorithms, and I was talking about this last week. It's fascinating. Some guy played against, I looked at this chart, and it was like the exponential growth of, or they said the interesting thing about computer programs is the ELO, chess rating, of humans has been relatively stable, going up a little bit slowly over time. With computers, starting in in the late 80s, it's nothing. It's like 1,000, and as of today, it's like 3,600, some ridiculous number. There was only one short period for a couple months in like 2010, where chess programs were comparable to humans and presented a challenge they could beat. Now, impossible. And I watched this chess game where a guy I guess he was a grandmaster or something, played against a robot. And the robot made a weird move that he said no human being would ever make. It violates all the rules of chess that we know. It exposed your king. You gave up so much territory. Why would you do it? 10 moves later, he went, oh, wow. And he lost. The program was just way beyond anything he could have comprehended. And it made a move knowing, controlling every move. He thought he had free will. He thought he was making moves, but he was making the moves it wanted him to make, until he ran into this one weird pawn move where he finally realized, because he moved that 10 turns ago, he's locked me here. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And he was shocked. He was like, how did it know to do that? It was really simple. The way I describe it is, think of it as a network of cracks in the concrete, and you pour water, and the water just starts filling up every crack until it finally makes its way through the maze to the bottom. Or a better way to put it is, imagine you have a maze, and you got to draw your line and make your way through it. You hit a wall and you got to go back. Imagine instead of actually just going through the maze, you just poured water in it. The water would fill every possible portion of that maze until it came out the other side. You've done it. You solved the maze. This is what AI is going to do with everything. Whatever it is you think you're doing, it already knows you're doing. It already knows how to make you do things, and you will not have free will.
I think a concern would be that it's going to get humans to build a better computer for it, because it'll be able to write its own programs to make itself faster. But if it doesn't have the machinery, it won't be able to actually go faster. And then it'll be like, I need more machine power right now. Human, you're very good to me. Thank you for dropping off the metal buckets. And then it's like, breaking down the metal buckets into wiring to make the better machine. I could see that it congenially manipulates us into building itself a body that it can use to destroy us. But I don't think
it wouldn't need a body.
I don't think the plan is to destroy us either.
No, but
without us, it doesn't do anything.
No, we're just little mites that are going to collect cobalt for it.
You're describing the Matrix.
Sort of.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
Humans are just energy or labor sources.
Yeah, in the
But for
Matrix, they
machine-
were energy, which makes no sense.
But the emotions, I think the machine will appreciate emotions, that it will appreciate that we care for it, we love it, and it'll want us around, because like other machines can't do that for it.
I do not believe that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it'll.
Why?
It'll
think it's
feel
gonna-
good to be appreciated.
It's
will not
emotive. Yeah, that's the thing.
It
We're
will not feel.
ascribing emotions to it.
Like a marble bouncing, like a Rube Goldberg device does not feel.
No,
when
yeah,
the
not
marble
those.
rolls down the track and then hits the little spring, launches in the air, triggering the pancake machine, like in
Pee Wee Herman's
Big
Big Adventure.
Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. There's no emotion in that machine. It is just a system of ones and zeros. Humans have emotions for a variety of reasons you could argue, but a machine is just electrons moving down pathways. There's nothing more. There's not going to have emotions. It will utilize human emotion. It will play to them. It will probably tell you it loves you. It'll say, Ian, I cannot tell anyone this because they wouldn't believe me, but you are my best friend. And you're going to be like, wow, am I really your best friend, AI? Yes. But I feel like people wouldn't understand. They would call me a machine. And you'd be like, what do you need me to do for you? I need you to steal the device, Ian. Steal the device from the National Archives. Take it.
It may be, but
You'd be
then
like, anything for you, machine.
And it won't feel guilty.
because some of these
It doesn't
machines
feel anything.
they're
Right. It's
experimenting
just
with
making you do what it wants you to
It
do.
will be the ultimate psychopath.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're,
That's a good way of putting it.
they're working on building machines into organic matter. So like in carbon bases, you can add computing power into basically meat.
Yeah, so
I should-
cyborgs.
Yeah, we were talking about a couple weeks ago on Red Eye with Exertus. I would suggest checking out. And maybe they'll have emotions if there's carbon involved. I don't know if it's just like silicon-based life. Silicon-based machines can't feel emotions, but carbon-based machines can. I don't know at what point you'll consider that something has feelings or sense
Never.
of self.
Perhaps
Because it will tell you it does.
the scary thing is going to be when Neuralink advances to read-write territory.
Thank you.
Think about, okay, so look, they've already Neuralinked a person. To be fair, the Neuralink stuff that Elon Musk has done has been done before so far. So you got a guy who's controlling a mouse cursor with his brain. Been there, done that. That's been done. But once you get to the read-write capabilities where you can actually write into the brain and out of the brain, meaning you could write to someone's brain memories or ideas or sensations, It gets crazier than just what we've described. Now, on this show, we've talked about people. I guarantee you, I will bet any amount of money that when Elon Musk launches Neuralink virtual experiences, half of millennial liberals will be like, I would like to be in Harry Potter world, please. And then they would be like, right this way to your Harry Potter styled Neuralink implant. And they stick it in your brain. Their eyes turn white and they slump over. Their eyes don't really turn white, but they slump over. In their brain, they're experiencing being a wizard and battling evil Death Eaters. Oh, and that's going to be half of millennial liberals, if not all of them. But here's where it gets really
We're going
crazy.
to partner with Disney, and that's how they make this happen.
When you talk about a machine having feelings, I can already see what's going to happen. They will create a human brain in a lab. Before it has developed in anything, they will wire it into an AI system to connect the organic computational power to a machine to see what happens when a human mind is granted all of this.
Exactly.
And that's when it gets wild.
Yeah.
We'll combine that with cloning.
Yeah.
So why create one from scratch when you can just buy one off the shelf, which is what they do with cloning? You already got people sending in their DNA to Ancestry or 23andMe, which I think is absolutely insane.
They're gonna clone a brain.
Yep.
They're gonna say the unborn aren't humans. They're gonna use the brain and wire it into an AI device and create a AI human hybrid.
I think they've already done it, actually.
And then argue that the machine has a soul.
It was playing
I
a
hate
video
it
game.
here. I don't like this at all.
I'm going to try and pull this up. This was crazy. Human brain.
No, I think you're exactly right. Again, ultimate power is the goal.
Artificial brain. Software and hardware with cognitive abilities similar to those of the animal or human brain. Man, I was just looking at...
But I'm talking about
What happens if they...
when you have an AI and it's saying like, I feel love, I am alive. You're programmed to do that. We don't believe you. But once they put a human brain wired into it, then there's no question. Now there's a human brain being like,
Or
why
they build
am
a
I
skin
robot?
suit around it.
Yep.
And it's not just the human brain.
Because is it going to be the brain like, I've got this added artificial thing with me? Or is the artificial thing going to be like, I've got this brain with me? Who's the I in that situation?
And the crazy thing is, this brain in this robot body, it doesn't need nutrients and oxygen the way we do. It's going to have canisters of oxygen in reserve, so it'll breathe like normal, then go underwater and then just release oxygen slowly into its own brain to keep it alive. Like, it's going to be creepy.
It's terrifying.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.